In previous classes, I taught you how transportation occurs in human beings and some unicellular and multicellular organisms. So, in this class, let us learn how transportation occurs in case of plants. Now, let us learn transportation in plants. So we have studied in human beings or in multicellular and higher chordates, blood will transport nutrients and oxygen to all body cells and they collect waste material. Now, what happens in case of plants? Transportation occurs. So transportation of water and mineral salts and transportation of food. So, transportation of water, mineral salts and food. These things will occur. And how they occur, let us see in this session. I have taken a glass and this is a colorful colored water in a glass. Now I have kept the plant. Now, after keeping the plant, what happens after few hours? If you take and if you just dissect this, so you will observe a colored water here, a colored fluid. So this is colorful. Why this is colorful? Because the colored water is transported by root hairs. These are root hairs. Can you see the root hairs here? These small hair-like structures are called root hairs. So these root hairs observe this colored water, transport to the root. From the root it goes to the stem and other parts of a plant. Leaf will prepare the food. After preparing the food with the help of photosynthesis, this has to be transported. So here xylem helps in transporting the water and here phloem helps in transporting the food. In activity 5, our aim in conducting this activity is to observe how water is transported with the help of root hairs. So, observation of conduction of water by root hairs, that is our aim. Now, what are the materials are required here? Materials are required to conduct this. So, apparatus or we can say materials required. Slide, cover slip, then microscope, and we need a germinating sprouted seeds. Sprouted seeds. These things are required to conduct this experiment. Now let us see the procedure. We have to take sprouted seeds. So this sprouted seeds, to get sprouted seeds, what we have to do, take some mustard seeds or else bajra seeds, soak it in the water the whole day and keep in a cloth, keep it overnight, 1 or 2 days till you get the sprouts. From these seeds, like this you get. So this is a root part. They take this part and keep it on a slide. Keep it on a slide. A slide is a thin glass material, transparent material. So keep this piece on a slide and press it over it with a cover slip. So take cover slip and press it on that. And what you have to do now, watch this under microscope. Watch this under microscope. Then what do you observe? We observe root cells and root hairs. So let us see that. So root hairs, and this is epidermal cells. Then this is xylem. So this is xylem. These are soil particles. Let us understand the conduction of water, how water is transported from root hairs to the xylem. Let us understand this. Now, generally what happens from the soil, in the soil water is present, that we know. From the soil, water enters into the root hair cells because of osmosis, due to osmosis. In 9th class, you have studied about osmosis. What is osmosis? The movement of molecules from low concentration to high concentration. Movement of molecules from low concentration to high concentration. Why here? See here, because more water is present and other substances in this water is less, it is more diluted. That's why concentration is very less. But whereas in roots, we have cell sap. What is cell sap? These are the vacuoles, very big vacuoles are present, and this vacuole, they contain many substances and liquid. Water is also present. That's why here concentration is very high. So what this is cell sap, which is present in vacuole, a liquid which is present in vacuole. So this is a vacuole, a big vacuole which is present in root hair cells. So water from low concentration will move to the high concentration. In 9th class, you studied while conducting the osmosis experiments, water will move towards the sugar, concentrated sugar or salt solution. That we know. So here, because of minerals, salt and sugar substances are more in cell sap and concentration is very high, from low concentration, water will move to high concentration due to osmosis. Understood? Now, water has entered into the root hairs. From root hairs, from one cell of the root hair, it moves to the other cell of the root hair because of osmosis which occurs, and water transportation occurs through plasma membrane. So from here, one cell to the other cell, it transport. So water from there, it reaches till xylem. So this is xylem. So water will reach till xylem because of osmosis. So as the water is going on coming into the xylem, what happens here? Pressure increases in the xylem. So here pressure increases, and due to this pressure, what happens? Water is pushed up in the xylem. Understood? So this pressure which is created in the root, in the xylem of root, is called as root pressure. What we call? Root pressure. So how root pressure occurs? Because due to osmosis, water is going on coming from the soil into the root hair cells, again from their epidermal cells, again into the xylem. As the water continuously coming, what is happening? The water molecule which is coming from back is pushing the water molecule which is forward, which is front of it. So like that, it is going to push. When it is pushing, what happens? A pressure is created in the xylem of root hair, and that is called as root pressure. And due to this root pressure, water goes up. Understood? And not only that, and there is a transpirational pull. Because of transpiration, water is pulled up. So because of osmosis, because of root pressure, because of transpirational pull, water is transported. So this is a root. In case of root, xylem is present to the exterior, to the peripheral region, corner region. But in case of stem, what happens? Xylem is present in the center. Understood? For conducting the water, for transporting the water. Then how we know that xylem is only transporting the water? A simple thing. Take a plant with a root and keep it in the colored water for few hours. Then what you do is you dissect the section of the stem of this and you will observe the only xylem. You observe the xylem cells. You see the colored water in the xylem. By this we come to know that only xylem is transporting the water. Now let us see activity 6. In activity 6, the aim in conducting this activity is to observe root pressure in case of plants. So to observe root pressure. To observe root pressure. That is our aim. Now what are the materials are required to conduct this experiment? Glass tube, a rubber tube, then we need water as well as potted plant. So potted plant, water, rubber tube, glass tube, these are the materials are required to conduct this activity. Let us see the procedure. Now take a potted plant. So in this plant you might be having this stem, leaf, branches and all. So what you do is cut above the pot, just 1 centimeter above this pot. So cut it till here. So take one glass tube, cut to the size of the stem. Now, so this is a glass tube. Now in this glass tube with a rubber tube, you have to tie this tightly. Understood? See that there is no gap or a small hole because water leakage may occur. Now completely you tie this. After that you pour some water. And mark it as M1. Now keep this experiment aside and observe after few hours. So observation. What we observe, there is an increase in the level of the water. So from here, water will increase after few hours, and that reading we take it as M2. The difference between M2 and M1 will give you the increase in the level of water, how much water is increased in this. So now let us understand why and how the water is increased in this glass tube. Understood? So let us label, this is glass tube, this is a plant. Okay, now we know that in a potted plant water is present. Understood? Water is present in this potted plant. Water from the pot is entering into the root hairs due to osmosis, and it enters into the xylem of root. Again from there, in the root, water pushing will occur, pressure will occur, and thereby it comes to the stem and it comes up into the tube due to the pressure, and that pressure we call it as root pressure. Now let us see how transpirational pull helps the plant in transporting the water. Transpirational pull, and we have to understand one more, guttation. So let us understand this transpirational pull and guttation. Okay, now how this guttation and transpirational pull helps the plant in transporting the water. We have already in previous classes conducted the experiment in classes. So take a potted plant and take one plant here in a pot. Then what you do is, for the leaves, you take a clean polythene cover, cover this leaf with this polythene cover and tie here with a rubber. Understood? So we have taken a pot with a plant and take a long narrow leaf, a broad leaf, and to this leaf you cover this leaf with a polythene cover which is clean and dry and neat, and keep it aside. After a few hours we observe water drops in the polythene cover. Where do these water drops comes from? This comes from leaves, stomata, and water is coming out from the leaves, from the stomata into the atmosphere, which is coming out. That is called as transpiration. So the water which is coming out from the leaf stomata is called as transpiration. So how this transpiration helps in transport of water then? Understood? See, to know this, I'll conduct one small experiment here, a small activity. Okay, while drinking thumbs up, what we do? In a bottle or in a glass, we take the straw, we keep the straw, and we suck the thumbs up or juice. When you are sucking, you are applying some force. Okay, and you are pulling it up. So when you are pulling it up, then what happens? From down, water continuously, one molecule, one thumbs up liquid molecule is attracted to the other, and like a chain, it comes out, comes up. Understood? So when you are sucking the juice, normally it comes up. Understood? So same thing is happening here. We, in the leaf, especially in the lower regions, we have many stomata. Understood? I'll draw one stomata here. So this is the stomata. This stomata is a hole which is covered by kidney-shaped God cells. So these are kidney-shaped cells. So these cells, God cells, helps in opening and closing of stomata. Understood? These God cells helps in opening and closing of stomata. So this is a hole which is present in leaf. So from this, water will come out. So this process we call it as transpiration. So whatever plant is absorbing the water through root hairs and root, all water it will not utilize. Only few ml of water is utilized for its metabolism and for its growth and for some activities. But remaining all water is evaporated. Most of the water is evaporated from this stomata, and that we call it as transpiration. So because of this transpirational pull, what is happening? So when water is moving from here, what is happening? The water continuously is pulled up. Understood? Now, then what is guttation? Let us understand guttation. So this is a leaf and these are leaf margins. In this leaf margin, some holes are present. They are called hydatodes. This is a leaf. In this leaf, in the leaf margin, some holes are present. These holes are called as hydatodes. So from this hole, water is evaporated. So when water is evaporated from these hydatodes, this is called as guttation. Oak tree height is very big, and the water from lower part it goes up. How? Because of three factors. First one is osmosis. Second one is root pressure. Understood? And third one is transpirational pull and guttation. And guttation. So these are the three processes which is occurring. These are the three factors which helps in transporting the water in case of plants. Understood? So osmosis occurs between soil particles and root hairs. So because of osmosis from the soil, water reaches till xylem, root xylem. So because of root pressure from the root xylem, it goes to the stem xylem. And because of transpirational pull and guttation from the stem xylem, it goes to the tip of the plant. So these are the three factors which helps in putting the water. Due to transpiration, 900 liters of water is evaporated in case of oak tree. In case of a maize plant, one fully grown maize plant, 15 liters per day is evaporated. From 750, 3,500 liters of water is evaporated per day. See this, water is added to the atmosphere by trees. From trees, extra water is evaporated in the form of transpiration. So in case of oak tree, 900 liters per day is evaporated. From maize plant, one maize plant 15 liters. So if you see that in 1 acre there are many maize plants, in 1 acre many maize plants are present. If all plants which is present in 1 acre, if they evaporate, then it is nearly 13 lakhs 25 liters per day it is going to evaporate. So that much liters of water is added to the atmosphere. And from the mango tree, from 750 to 3,500 liters per day is evaporated. Understood?